Today, I'm going to show you how to make a phone call. Do you know how to make a phone call? Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. Okay, so let me show you how to make a phone call. Who am I going to call? Ghostbusters! I'm going to call my mortgage company, Mr. Cooper. My favorite group right now is Radiohead. So if anybody has any Radiohead tickets, I don't care where it is. It could be Berlin. Amsterdam would be preferable. My wife's a big stoner. Just kidding. She's a professional. She doesn't even do drugs. Alright. So there was a discrepancy on my part, a mix-up. And so the reason why I'm calling is to offer my apology. Whoops. I'm calling to offer my apologies for the inconvenience. So when we think about customer service, it's not always about having the right answer or having the right product, but customer service is also about showing humility, right? Because we don't know all the answers. We don't know everything about the products that we serve, and sometimes we just make mistakes. It's just a human thing. It's not that generally the mistakes were intentional. At least we hope they were not intentional, because that's a whole nother training class on ethics. And I believe at this particular point, because we are all spiritually inclined people, ethics is not so much of the issue, right? There's other issues, right? Inherently, I believe that all people are good. So, if we have questions on that, we'll have to get to that later. So let's see what we got.
Answer common questions about your mortgage transfer. To learn more about us, press 1. To hear the payment mailing address, 2. Website and account alerts, 3. For everything else, press 4.
We're pressing 4 because this is something else other than what she
Please hold while I transfer your call. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Calling Mr. Cooper, your home loan company.
Yeah, you look like Mr. Cooper.
Transferred to us. That means you're part of the family now.
All right.
And as family, we look out for each other. Want more details about your transfer?
No.
Just stay on the line. Welcome to the family. Things are changing here in exciting ways. They are all new, super helpful, easy to use website. Just sign in and register. We think you'll love it.
They certainly talk a lot, don't they? That's my wife in the background, giving her commentary.
Thank you for calling Mr. Cooper, your home loan company. This is Katie, based in Texas.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. The other day I made a payment on a bank card. You know how employers are given their employees bank cards, and so the bank card did have its own routing number and account number, and so I attempted to pay my mortgage with that, and then I understand last night when I looked at the computer that it was reversed. So I did not want to fall in a bad relationship with you all, so I resubmitted the payment through my Chase bank account. And so I'm thinking that everything will be okay. At least I know it will be. So I just want to make sure that you got that and made any notations that I was aware of the mistake and rectified it ASAP. Yes, Derek Gillard, Gillard. Yes, 0487 48503. That's the one from this morning? Okay, good. Well, it did the same thing when I went to make the Discover card payment, and so they said sometimes these companies have issues with this bank called MetaBank for whatever reason. Because when I read off the numbers to the employee at Discover, there were no discrepancies, but it was just the fact that there were no discrepancies in the number. It was just the fact that they could not accept some transactions from this MetaBank. So I'm not going to submit them anymore for the mortgage payments. It will come directly from Chase from now on. Okay. Oh, okay, great, great, great. So they'll see that in there and the payment was made. So thank you so much for your help. I appreciate you. Thanks, you too. Bye-bye. So customer service isn't a one-way street. Customer service is actually a two-way street. So there's a lot of people that I know that don't like to pay bills, but in this world that we live in, as the police put it, we are spirits in the material world. So therefore, that was pretty good, wasn't it, babe? I need confirmation from my wife every now and again to make sure I'm on the right path. So not a lot of people like paying bills, but it is a way of life. So therefore, we can be just as nice in paying our bills as we expect them to be in taking our money, right? Because they may be having a bad day. They may not want to be at work. They may have a family member that's dying. So as polite and as professional and as loving as we can be makes this whole yin and yang, and the eight, what is that, sweetheart? When the eight goes, you know, the symbol of the eight, right? It's like infinity. That's right. So, you know, we have an obligation as spiritual beings to make sure that our customer service is in such a way that we respect the infinity of human life and respect the power of love. So that's it for this segment of bloopers. And tonight, no, actually tomorrow, I have some young men that are going to come over and help me get this thing together, and maybe we'll put some music on it and all that good stuff. But again, we want to thank you for today. And remember, it's the thoughts that count. Peace.